This video was brought to you in part by the supporters of the AMTV Patreon. Thank you.
Hello there, guys. It's Martyn here, and shock! Horror! Breaking news! Well, it's not so much breaking anymore, but hey, we got the announcement that Jodie Whittaker, together with Chibnall, are going to be leaving Doctor Who in the autumn of 2022. This announcement came out of nowhere. I personally heard it on the headlines listening to BBC Radio 2, but it was shortly spread on official Twitter accounts, social media accounts, so it's pretty much well known now that Jodie and Chris will be exiting next year. We also got some, I guess, more confirmed information about Series 13, namely being that originally, I think it was believed to be an 8-part series. It's now going to be 6, and we already learnt some time before that this is going to be one story, one story with 6 individual parts, which I think is really cool for Doctor Who. It's nice that they do that every once in a while. So 6 episodes for Series 13, and then we're going to have 3 specials in 2022, and the thing I saw, which I think was actually tailing the interview Lizo Mazimba did on BBC News. I believe it's one New Year, so New Year's Day 2022, one in the spring, and then one in the autumn. So very much mirroring the Tennant specials of 2009, where we got one in the spring and then one in the autumn. And the one in the autumn is meant to tie in with the BBC's centenary. A lot of people didn't realise that it's the BBC's 100th anniversary next year, which is pretty cool. So nice that they've sort of tied it into that. And in that autumn special, we will see Jodie regenerate. And now, of course, almost instantly the speculation is who's going to be the 14th Doctor and who's going to take over from Chris. I'd argue Chris leaving was probably a bigger shock because Jodie, bless her, there've been rumours swirling for months and months now, that this was going to be her last run or that she was going to announce she was stepping down, a whole bunch of rumours. So I think people were sort of in some ways prepared for this one. But Chris leaving sort of came out of nowhere, although he did shine a light for us, saying that him and Jodie had made this pact, 3 series and out sort of thing. So I respect that, I think he clearly has achieved, or is currently achieving, while making the new series, everything he wanted to achieve as showrunner, and he doesn't want to do any more than that. And I think that's completely fair enough. And again, for him and for Jodie's sake, as an actor myself, it is known that being Doctor Who, you're filming for 9 months of the year, which is a very long time, and I know, as fans, we all love it, and we jump at the chance, but it's very grueling work, it's very exhaustive work, so as an actor, for wanting to move on to do other things, I completely respect Jodie for that. It obviously means, yes, it's had the 3 series rule, as people like to call it, although she's getting specials like Tennant did. Her tenure, I always consider Doctors' tenures from their first full episode, so I don't count appearances at the end of their previous incarnations, so for example, for me, Peter Capaldi's era is 2014 to 17, and not 2013, even though he appeared at the end of Time of the Doctor, you see what I mean? So I count Jodie's era as 2018 to 2022, so a nice 4-year stretch. So the new showrunner, a lot of the similar names get bandied about. Mark Gatiss, who was, I think, touted about when Stephen Moffat said he was going, but for some reason I don't think Mark would do it. I think he's on to different projects now. Toby Whithouse is another one who pops up often. Neil Gaiman actually came out recently and said, no, I'm not going to do it, which is completely fair enough. He's on projects that are vastly more expensive than Doctor Who at the minute. Some people are touting some of the new series writers, like Vinay Patel, for example, or Pete Tiggy. Sorry, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I don't know. There are calls, some people are saying it'd be really interesting to get a showrunner completely out of the blue, someone that hasn't written for the show before, which I think would be a very interesting take. Obviously, treat the brand with care, but I think that it's not out of the question. You can have someone run the show who isn't necessarily, or hasn't necessarily been a fan or written for it before. I definitely think that could happen. However, if we had to go out of the names everybody know, I'd definitely be down for Vinay Patel. I really enjoyed his writing for Demons of the Punjab and Fugitive of the Jadoon respectively, so to see Vinay take over, I think it'd be really, really cool. For the 14th Doctor, well, that's a different story, isn't it? Of course, the usual names come up: Chris Marshall, Richard Ayoade, Who else is there? Olivia Colman, Judi Dench. Yes, I have seen a Judi Dench one. I have always usually gone with the stance that as long as they're a good actor and they can prove their worth in the acting field, Doctor Who can literally be anyone, you know, man, woman, and any gender, or people who have been fans or people who are brand new to it. It can literally be anyone if they've got the acting prowess to pull it off. The only thing I'd want this time, I'd be very disappointed if they cast a straight white male again. Because we've had a lot of them, and you know, there's a lot of good. I mean, you know, and somebody say, "Well, why'd you say that?" I mean, it's Adam. You're a straight white male actor, wouldn't you like to do it? Yeah, of course. You know, I'd love to be Doctor Who. Who wouldn't? But honestly, I don't want to see that. I want to see someone different. I want to see different people represented on screen. One obvious candidate, of course, would be Jo Martyn, who made her appearance as the fugitive Doctor in Series 12. And, you know, she is right there, and that would be great if they cast her. I do think, though, her story might be wrapped up or sort of tied with a bow in Series 13. There have been hints that we're going to talk about the Timeless Child again, of course. You know, Yaz in the Series 13 trailer says you're hiding something, which could certainly allude to that. It's no guarantee, but part of me thinks that, you know, that's a character Chibnall created, and I think he'd want to seal that off. But, you know, at the time of recording, I could be completely wrong. He could have other ideas entirely. Yeah, I just want to see someone who I wouldn't be expecting, maybe. Or maybe someone who's not as well known, someone who's, you know, can show their acting chops, but maybe isn't... Like, you know, sort of Matt Smith, he'd done acting bits, but he wasn't that well known. I'd love to see that happen again. But no, we don't know how they're choosing it. It's implied from Chris Chibnall's statement that BBC Studios and the BBC are choosing it, rather than it be like an open audition. It'd be nice if they did open auditions again, but, you know, it's the company that make it, so they'll ultimately have their choice. As long as it's a choice that has the acting chops to back it up, fine by me. But yeah, there isn't really that much more to say. I just wanted to give my brief thoughts on this news. Obviously, I'm very sad that Jodie is going. I've really enjoyed her Doctor, and part of me thinks, oh, we've hardly had anything. But then I guess we've got to remember, we've still got Series 13, which is 6 episodes, and we've still got the 3 specials. So we've still got 9 episodes of Jodie left over a year period. You know, we're going to see her on our screens for another year at least, which for me is great. I love that. So yeah, very sad though, but you know, this is Doctor Who. Things change all the time. The actors leave, the showrunners leave. I think a lot of people expected Chris Chibnall to do what Stephen Moffat did and stay on for 2 Doctors. Part of me, I guess, thought he'd only do 1 because Jodie was very much, you know, his Doctor. So yeah, no great surprise, and he probably wants to work on other things too. But please, guys, do let me know in the comments, what did you think about this news? Let me know down below. Are you excited for what's to come? Are you really sad Jodie's going? Have you got anyone you'd want to see as the new Doctor or the new showrunner? Do let me know in those comments below, and if you haven't done already, please do me a favour and leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Just really helps us out, and we're on the road to 15k. I've been Adam Martyn from AMTV, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.